Hi folks, welcome to NorCal Dreamer. My name is Charlotte and the cameraman behind the camera is my husband Carl. Say hello, Carl.
Please.
Our sidekick Tess, she's also part of our quality control. So today we are doing pumpkins, and we use pumpkins for a lot of stuff. We make things with it, of course, you know, cookies and pies and bread and whatnot, but we also feed it to our dogs. They get pumpkin every day as part of their daily diet. So today what we're going to be doing is pumpkin puree, which no, you cannot can it. This will be frozen. So we're going to put it in baggies and freeze it. It's like mashed potatoes. You cannot can mashed potatoes. You have to freeze them. So stay tuned and we'll get this show on the road. So the first thing we're going to do is cut the top off our pumpkin. Side note, you gotta have a really sharp knife to do this. I have found the best knife is a bread knife. It's got the serrated edge and it just does a great job of cutting this top off. So just cut that top off just like so. And that's all there is to that. Okay, so next thing is cutting this puppy in half. And I don't like that. I think I'm going to go back to my bread knife. Okay, after it's been cut in half, we're going to gut it. Get all the seeds out, or as many as possible. I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me clean 5 more pumpkins, so we'll bring you right back when we're finished. So this is all the seeds that we got out of those 6 pumpkins that we had. But we're just going to set this aside for now and work on the pumpkins. And I don't know if I mentioned or not, the pumpkins that we're using today are called sweet pumpkins or pie pumpkins. They're much smaller than the jack-o'-lantern pumpkins that you normally use for carving. So what we're going to do right now is I'm just going to cut all these halves into thirds. That's the nice thing about this, doing it this way. The string that's in here, if you don't get it all out, it's no big deal because it's all going to be pureed anyway. And the skin is staying on. The skin, when we're done, will be disintegrating, so it'll puree up into the mix. And that's where a lot of your vitamins, minerals, all the good stuff is usually in the skin of the vegetables and fruits. So we are leaving the skin on, and we're not going to worry too much about that stringy stuff. So I'm going to cut these into thirds, or thereabouts. since this batch is done, I'm just going to do a quick release of the steam, of the pressure. I don't want to get burned, so I just put a cover over it. You can hear that. You can see it, I'm sure. A lot of pressure in there. We used to do our pumpkins in the oven, and but you would lose the peeling that way, or the skin, and you're losing a lot of nutrients when you do that. And it's wasteful. I mean, if you can use the skin, then use it. So this is what we've been doing. This?
Yep.
Oh, the little pin just dropped down, so that tells me that it is no longer under pressure. So let's go ahead and take our lid off. Always open your lids away from you. You really don't want a face full of steam. So this is going to be really soft and probably falling apart. But you can see that it's very soft, and it'll mush up really well. That was good English, wasn't it? It'll just mush up really well. So let's get these out. And we'll let them cool a little bit before we start mashing them up, because these are very hot right now. Okay, so we've got this last batch out, and we're going to use a potato masher first to kind of break everything up. Then once we get it really broke up, then we'll go in with the stick blender. And you can use the processor. I've got one here, but it didn't really work for what I was wanting. It wasn't, I couldn't do a lot in it. It had to be in really small batches, and that was really time consuming. So we've figured out that this is the best and most efficient way to do this. Tell me when. Okay. Okay, so we've been blending this for quite a while because there was a lot there. But it is nice and creamy and smooth right now. If you can see that. Skin, everything has just been blended all in. So we're going to let this cool for a few minutes because it's definitely too hot to put in a bag. And the other thing is I'm not adding any spice to this. I'm not adding pumpkin pie spice or cinnamon, none of that stuff. This is just plain pure pumpkin. The reason being is if I want to make pumpkin soup or use it in a savory dish, I can. If I go to make a pie or cookies or something sweet, I can add the spice at that time. So, but you do whatever you'd like. Now, if you want to make it all spice, that's great. But I find it's more versatile this way. So stay tuned. Okay, so everything's blended and we're going to put this in Ziploc bags. We've let it cool so it's manageable. Good word. And I usually put about 2 cups per bag, and I don't weigh it. It's usually a give or take, but it's 2 full measuring cups.
Around 16 ounces.
So around 16 ounces.
The ears in the corner down.
We got Riker down here wanting to see what we're doing. He knows he gets this in his meals, so he's like, is it time to be fed? No, because you already ate. And these things, let me tell you, if you don't have them, I would get them. These are the handiest things in sliced bread. As you saw, you just put your baggie in there and it extends to, gallon or whatever size you want. But it holds your bag open for you while you fill it, which is quite nice. So I'm gonna seal this and get some of this air out. And that is all there is to it, my friends.
How we did it.
We make sure you put what it is. I put 2 cups on there. Actually, Carl did, that's his writing. What it is, how much, and the date. And that's really it. We find when we package things flat this way and freeze it, it thaws so much faster when it comes time to use it. So we freeze our hamburger like this, turkey, ground chicken, this, obviously. Anything that we have to freeze that we can do this, we do. So I just got in trouble by my director for saying too much. So so that's it for this portion of this video. Stay tuned for the second half, which will be the pumpkin seeds. If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell, which will tell you when we upload our next video. Stay safe and may God bless.
I didn't say action yet. Hang on. And action.